Well, I had a great question, so I wanted to share with you. We're in the middle of doing the Becoming Safely Embodied course, registering people for it. And so some people have had some great questions. And one of them was a question about what I talked about in the webinar I gave about upleveling. And do you know that term, upleveling? It's a gaming term, really. From small little, like even if you're playing solitaire, let alone the big, it's when you reach a certain level and you want to go on to the next harder level. They call it upleveling. I love that term. And that's what we're doing in our own healing, right? We are consistently looking to uplevel our healing, uplevel ourselves so that we get better. So our healing gets really solidified inside of us and we build a deeper platform. One of the webinars I did was on building a inner platform for a solid, secure self. And that's that same idea. So that when something crummy happens, and crummy things happen, right? They happen to us. Rather than dropping to like crashing even below the bottom, we continue to build a level inside. It's like instead of having to fall down into the very, very bottom of our basement and below, the elevator has something to land inside. Does all that metaphor work? I don't even know if it's working. You got to tell me if it is or isn't. So somebody asked me examples of people who have up-leveled themselves. And basically what the question is, can you really change your life? Can you really make a difference? Can your healing shift? The other side of the question is, do you have to stay in a crummy place the rest of your life? And I literally just got off the phone with somebody who said some amazing things. And in the BSE mentors that we have 14 mentors who are just contributing to this program that we do of their own time because of the value they've gotten and the value they want to give to you to support you. But listen to this. One person said, practicing the Becoming Safely Embodied skills transformed my life. Now, this was unsolicited, right? But transformed my life. Saying I went from a highly reactive, fairly negative person to where my relationships have improved dramatically. And this person said they were all fraught before. This person said, I don't blame as much as I used to. And I learned to listen to my body and not have so many knee-jerk reactions. I can't even read my own writing. Not have as many knee-jerk reactions to situations. And then said, I'm incredibly grateful to Becoming Safely Embodied skills and would encourage anyone who wants to change your life to become a practitioner of the BSE. Like amazing. If you want to change your life, this is what's possible, to go from being highly reactive, from a fairly negative person whose relationships were falling apart to where they're not. Like that's incredible. Incredible. Somebody else said, again, having trouble reading my own writing, about the non-judging experience of being in any of our groups that we're doing in any of our communities, which is so precious to me because, just like so many of you, I have come from an environment of a lot of judgment and had to really change that inside myself so that I could have a different experience. So this person said one of the qualities that they get from being both in the groups and with me is this sense of being non-judgmental, which to be able to be part of forming that. I mean, it's not just me, it's really drawing on the heartful connection that we all have with each other to create a safe environment where there's nothing wrong. I keep saying to people, you can't do it right. You can't do it wrong. But what there is your way, and it's seeing the best. That's one of the core values that we have, is that it's about seeing the best in each other, which includes me, right? It includes you. It's like, how do we see the best in ourselves individually and in the group that we're with? That's so key, like so key, because you know what it's like. I mean, I certainly do. when like my old habit of thinking can be so reactive right away, or can be so negative. And that's the evolutionary negativity bias that we all have, is to see what's wrong. That's how we survived. But that is not how we thrive, right? You know this, I know this. So thriving comes from being able to see the best in what I'm trying to do, self-compassionately, and also to be connected to other people and see the best in them. Like, and deliberately, conscientiously, persistently, consistently choosing to see the best instead of what is wrong or what isn't working. And what happens then is we change our life moment to moment. It's incredible. In fact, this person said, being in that kind of an environment decreases the shame of being myself. Like, what could be better than that, right? To decrease the shame of being just me, right? And continued, one of the best things that they've gotten was being able to differentiate the past from the present, and where knowing what I need is normal and important. That's one of the key things that we're always looking for, is what do you need? What is that need inside? And how do we bring that forward and make that not just accessible, but that we normalize it? Like, of course you have needs. So many of us feel like, oh my God, I'm too needy. I'm going to be rejected because I'm too needy. Well, the whole point is that your needs are important. Yeah. First of all, they're going to guide you where you want to go. You can look at how you can get those needs met. We talk a lot about the developmental task of an adult versus a child, which is, as our childhood needs should have been met from the outside. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there comes a point as we're growing up where we realize, like, wow, I'm really bummed I didn't get that need met. How do I meet that myself? Somebody I talked to this morning was saying how sad they were, how upset they were that they didn't get their, this is a person in her 50s. She said that she still needs a mom, especially right now when everything is so chaotic. She wants her mom, right? Don't we all know that sense of being able, I want to lean on somebody. I want somebody there to help me get through this. And that is normal. That's so normal. I don't even know any other way to say it. Of course it's normal. It's about not, when we don't shame ourselves for that, we actually start valuing that need. Of course you need that. And then how can you be with yourself, provide that sense of it, and then be in community with other people who understand and respect that? That's just so important in the healing process. And then another person said, when we know how to separate the past from the present, when we know that our needs are normal, and when we realize that the shame of that, because I talk a lot about how shame is an attachment wound, when we realize that shame is just, we're being shamed for something that we just naturally needed. Like every human being, every mammal needs these things. When we stop shaming ourselves, or when we recognize that, the shame decreases, starts dissolving, and then it's much easier to deconstruct the triggers that we're in. So the person who asked the question, let me see what the question was, how do you up-level, and how do you use your protest to up-level? These are part of the ways. First of all, you notice what you're protesting. I went through this a lot on the webinars I did, as you begin to see, what are you protesting, right? So it's upset about something. I define a protest as when we hear ourselves saying, it shouldn't be like this, right? I shouldn't be stuck at home. I shouldn't be in lockdown. I shouldn't be in quarantine. All that's true, right? That protest is normal and natural. But that points to a need that we have. What is that need that we have? Oops, sorry, I'm still losing my voice a little bit. Excuse me. So when we begin to see there's that need, that I need something, and then how do I begin to meet that need? That's where we begin to follow the trail. And we get some help on that. So the example of the question had is how people have taken their protests and up-leveled. Like this one person I talked about who said practicing the becoming safely embodied transformed her life. Went from highly reactive, fairly negative, to relationships that improved dramatically. So let's just take that. When I'm highly reactive, as this person is, that highly reactive is a protest. We can see it as a protest. That protest then is pointing you in a direction. It's pointing you to some need that you have. So maybe I need to feel comforted. I need to be reassured. I need to be mentored and guided. I need to have a felt sense of safety. Also important. If I have those really basic acknowledgement of that need, then I begin to say, okay, how do I meet that need? How do I begin? Instead of needing to be grabbed for out there out of desperation, how do I begin to meet that need inside? And in the becoming safely embodied skills, we go through very clearly and slowly how to break apart. That sounds so terrible, but how do we deconstruct a trigger? How do we know what is involved in it? How does the trigger go from like this to breaking it up into smaller and smaller bits so that we can actually, we can actually let it go. We can actually let it go. Like triggers are important. They're valuable. They're a way to direct us where we want to go. But what tends to happen is we get stuck in our triggers. We get locked in, right? Don't we? Right? It's learning how to separate, externalize them a little, and then begin to see them different. And person after person who has used the becoming safely embodied skills has learned to do that. And I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to go. Lots of love to you all. Lots of love. Let me know what you think. Leave me some comments so I can hear. My voice is going. Gwen's asking me a question now. What about need to own one's power that was taken away from being she? This is such a see. But I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm going to get to that, but it's all in the same way. We have to deconstruct that, and that is totally possible. So I'm going to. That's a great question, Gwen, and I'm going to get to that. Lynette's saying all the love to you and your voice. Thank you, Lynette. Sorry, better go. Love you all. Love you. I was thinking Robin saying, stay healthy. Thank you. All right, sweethearts. Love to you. And I'll talk. Oh, Frederico's there. Hello, sweetheart. Best thoughts from Paris. Thank you, Frederic. How sweet to see you. Bye, everybody. Love you all. Oh, my God, this is so great. Thank you for identifying reactivity as a protest. Helps deepen my understanding. That is so key, Melanie. Yeah, stay with that. That is essential, and that is really the focus of so much of my work. So, all right, loves. Thanks for the comments and the words.